Okay, good evening, everyone. We'll go ahead and call the regular board meeting for Hudsonville Public Schools to order for November 10th, 2022. Thanks for being here this evening on a beautiful night. Thanks for taking time out to be with us. So we have two absences tonight. We have Andrew DeWitt, who's absent, and Larry Kappinga, although Larry may join us in a few minutes. He knows we're in here, so we'll get him up to speed when he joins. So first off, I'd like to, a couple of items to mention. Want to congratulate, we should congratulate Barb Cooper, Greg Chansky, and Nick Volheis on their election to the board. Congratulations. And then also we will obviously recognize Chad Tuttle and Larry Kappinga for their extraordinary service to the board over the past number of years. So again, congratulations, and we'll recognize our board members. Okay, and then also tomorrow is Veterans Day, so we certainly want to recognize and appreciate the service of all the veterans that we have within our Hudsonville Public School team, their relatives, their families, students that are going in from Hudsonville into the military whom we recognize. There's Mr. Kappinga. Students whom we recognize during graduation that are entering the military. So again, we recognize those folks, appreciate their service, and thank a veteran when you see them tomorrow and this weekend. The veterans here this evening, we appreciate and thank them as well. Okay, next, can I have a motion to approve the agenda with one change? We have a lot of students waiting for us to do a band, choir, and orchestra concert. So in the spirit of letting them move on and their parents move on and not be confused by our timing here, I'd like to move, we have a number of folks that would like to address the board this evening, so I'd like to move the recognition of visitors and hearing of people present to after the teaching and learning feature. And again, that'll allow our students to move out in a more defined time and earlier. So with that, can I have a motion, please, to revise the agenda by moving recognition of visitors to after teaching and learning?
Support.
Motion by Barb Hooper.
Support.
Support from Dawn Sneeden. Any questions or comments on that change to the agenda? Okay, all in favor of the amendment, please say yes.
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 Opposed, no. Okay, now can I have a motion and a second to approve the revised agenda, please?
I'll move that.
Motion by Mark Davis.
Support.
Support from Chad Tuttle. Again, any questions or comments on the overall agenda? Okay, all in favor, yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. All right, thank you for that. Next, we move on to Knights of Columbus presentation, and we have Tommy Mishienzi and Paul Kwiatkowski here this evening from the Knights to share some information and some money, I think, with us. I'll get right down to it, right? So, which we appreciate.
Yes, so over the past several years, we've been just the happy and grateful recipients of donations from the generous Knights of Columbus. These dollars have over the years supported various activities to support our programs, from everything from accessibility tools to special field trips, cooking units, and most recently, their donation from this past school year was able to add to our resources around social studies units to provide more visual aids and leveled readers. So we are just so appreciative of this annual opportunity to just expand our resources in our program, and we're so thankful for this donation. So I know tonight we have Deputy Grand Knight Tomio Mishienzi and Grand Knight Paul Kwiatkowski. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. I'll tell you a little bit about what we do. This type of initiative is done all over the country with Knights of Columbus councils. There's 10,000 of them around the country. So the funds that we generate during our what we call our MI drive, which is usually done the weekend after Easter, we separate that into 4 groups. So there's 3 groups locally here: Hudsonville schools, Jenison schools, and East Ottawa. And then we also give a quarter of that also to Special Olympics. So the 4 groups always split those funds up with those 4 groups every year. The past couple of years, unfortunately, because of COVID, of course, it's been kind of difficult to get people to do it, and we've been limited in what we've been able to do. This year was definitely, the check I have this year is better than the check we did last year, and I guarantee that the check that we'll do this coming year is going to be better yet as well. So we're really happy to hear that the money is going to good use, and that's fantastic. And we love hearing how the money is used, and we love to hear from the kids as well. So thank you for the opportunity to be here this evening.
I think you want a quick picture. Mrs. Jones.
This is one of the times where I feel that it's great that the Knights of Columbus are able to get out and get some work done, and for a great cause. You know, we've been giving, like Tony has said, for many years, goes to Special Olympics. That's one of the key elements that we love to support, but then as councils, we're all allowed to split up the rest of the funds as we see fit, and for us to be able to continue to aid a great cause from the schools that we have aligned with is a wonderful thing, and we'll just keep working out there, and we'll bring in more people, and we'll bring in more money. It's a wonderful thing. There we go.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Again, we were talking beforehand, the Knights, it's been not just years, but decades, that the Knights have been so generous to not just Hudsonville, but Jenison, Grandma, other schools in the area. And people are generous in the community as we go out to collect money for through the Tootsie Roll drives for special needs students. And again, the Knights are so generous in providing that money to public schools. So thank you once again for being here this evening. And I'll put a plug in, when you see the Knights, it's in April, right, Tony?
Yeah,
Yes.
weekend after Easter. Yes.
Yeah, so when you see the Knights out by your local store the weekend after Easter, give generously, please, to the Tootsie Roll Drive. Yes. Okay, well, that will move on to Student Council Report, and we have Briella here this evening. There she is.
Hello. For those who don't know, my name is Briella Beamer. I am Student Council's Public Relations Officer. I have not been at board meetings for the past 2 meetings because I have had swim meets, so sorry about that.
Your brother was here, by the way.
Yeah. Speaking of my brother, I know he mentioned something about my swimming abilities last time I was here, and I would just like to say to that, at least I scored points for my team. Moving on to more relevant stuff, I guess. So all high schoolers are having exams right now. So tomorrow, Student Council is passing out donuts in the morning, which will be a great way just to make the Friday morning better, because we've had a rough week of exams, and it's just nice to have something happy to look forward to. We recently hosted a blood drive, and that went very well. We surpassed our goal of 72 units with 98 units. Our Staff Appreciation Committee is going to start a Tireless Teacher Award, which is to recognize teachers, because I know being a teacher is a tiring job. And moving on, it's November already, which is crazy, and we're gearing up for Christmas time, so we're planning on doing a toy drive sometime in December. Also in December, we're planning on trying to get the whole school to participate in this event called Project Nightlight, which is at Hudsonville Children's Hospital, and basically people come and they flash flashlights up at the kids in the hospital, and they flash their flashlights back, and it's just a really cool thing. And I guess the biggest news that I have for you all today is that Student Council is discussing the possibility of having a snowco, which, for those of you who don't know what a snowco is, it's basically like a winter homecoming, so like a winter dance. And this is not a definite thing yet. We're still working out the details of it, but I know the student body is very passionate about trying to make this happen. So if it happens, I guess I'll let you know. Yeah, that's all I really have to share. I don't know if you have any questions for me.
Well, I think this, what's it called, Snow Cove?
Snow, like snow homecoming.
I think that's a great idea. Jordan, yeah, I think that's a great idea. And, of course, we don't have to do anything. It's all about you.
Be chaperones.
Yeah, they need chaperones.
Okay, other questions or comments for Rilla? Is the project nightlife, is that like all local, is that a Hudsonville thing or a lot of schools? Or how
Well,
does that?
it happens every month at Hudsonville Children's Hospital.
Okay,
So we're thinking of trying to, like, tell the whole school that we're planning on going to this event. It would be nice if people would come with us.
okay, so it's something that goes on every month then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great, excellent, good. Any other questions or comments? Great job, thank you. Okay, now we move to the teaching and learning feature, and we will move to the auditorium.
So there's a spot for the board to move the auditorium kind of in the middle, about 3-4 rows back, and then hopefully the rest of you all can join and listen to our middle school music.
And then we'll reconvene here.
Becky?
Thank you for moving into the auditorium so we can play for you. My name is Sarah Lenhart, and I teach orchestra at Baldwin and at Riley. Thank you for having us play at the board meeting tonight. We have a small group of students from Riley and Baldwin tonight here to showcase what we do in the middle school music department. They are representing our current 750 students who participate in band, choir, and orchestra at our middle schools. In our performing arts classes, students are learning to make music and express themselves. They are learning this great art form of music and take these skills with them for the rest of their lives. Students also learn many things in addition to music. They're learning self-discipline, perseverance, the pursuit of excellence, teamwork, accountability, and goal setting. Their brains are actually multitasking at an extremely high level when they're making music. They're producing sound, using correct technique, coordinating their right and left hands, reading music, watching a conductor, and responding and adjusting to what they hear in the moment. Current science has shown that the study of music actually builds new neural pathways in the brain and connects the right and the left hemispheres of the brain. But most importantly, post-COVID, we have a culture in our classes where students are finding a place to belong, build friendships, pursue music, and experience success. Much of the success they find is through the art of performing. Our students perform mini concerts right here in this beautiful auditorium. Each year, we perform in the community at nursing homes, the local farmers market, Griffin's games, Cedar Point, and the Chicago Field Museum. The 6th grade choir are wearing our shirts that we wear when we go out and perform in the community at all of these places. This year, our 8th grade choirs were selected to sing with the Graham Valley Choirs in their Fall Arts Extravaganza. The band and orchestra and choirs consistently have earned first division ratings at the WWII Festival and at solo and ensemble. Last year, we sent a record number to solo and ensemble, and all received first and second division ratings. We have 13 band students who were just accepted into our honors band for the Grand Rapids area, and we have 15 students in the orchestras who were accepted in the youth orchestra downtown Grand Rapids. Part of our job as educators is exposing our students to the world of music and creating a culture where students can find connection. This includes our fun things, like our 6th grade choir retreat, field trips to the Grand Rapids Civic Theater, the Grand Rapids Symphony, and the Chicago Symphony, and the orchestra's Music Till Midnight event. They also get to work with guest artists and clinicians. And of course, the highlight of the year is when we take hundreds of students to Rebounders for a big music party. So, this group of students before you tonight has worked extremely hard. The 8th graders had a challenging first year in 6th grade. They learned during COVID, 6 feet apart in the parking lot. Yes, and here they are tonight. They literally started in the parking lot. They have bounced back and exceeded expectations and rebuilt the middle school music program in an extremely short time. We're really proud of what they've accomplished. We also have a fantastic team of middle school music teachers, four of whom are new to our district last year. They've done a great job coming on board, setting high musical expectations, and embodying all of what HPS is all about. The future of the middle school music program is very exciting. We want to give a big thank you to our administrators, Bill Ross and Ryan Crete and Melanie McClure, who we got to start to work with this fall. And they've made just a huge effort to support the arts, which is fundamental to the growth of a music program, and we can't say enough what a privilege it is to work for each of the three of you. So I would like to turn it over to the Riley 6th grade choir and Mrs. Gemma.
Hello, like Mrs. Linhart said, I'm Jessica Jenna. I teach choir at Riley Street Middle School, and this is a group of our 6th graders who are going to perform Sing to Me by Andrea Ramsey. This song explores the themes of resilience, as it talks about how sometimes there are seasons of cold winter, but spring will always come again. This is a piece that this choir sang in our October concert, and it showcases the musical abilities that they've learned so far in their first year of choir ever.
Hello, I'm Kathleen Wallace. I teach choir at Baldwin Street Middle School. A group of singers from our 8th grade choir will now sing Can You Hear Me by Bob Chilcott. This song depicts the wonder of a world seen through the eyes of a child who is deaf. In this song, we explore the idea that music is for everyone and that we should strive to listen to all forms of communication. The text states, I hear you through your hands, the movement sets me free. Please enjoy as our choir sings and signs, Can You Hear Me?
Around me as I grow.
So the 7th and 8th grade orchestras performed this next song at our October concert with the entire 7th and 8th grade orchestras. We have a select members here tonight. This is Mrs. Bush, my twin sister, who also teaches orchestra in our district, and she's going to be conducting tonight. We have been working with students on what it means to soar, right? And at the concert, our students dedicated this piece to the staff and teachers and administrators here in Hudsonville who all embody what it means to soar on a daily basis and truly lead by example. The theme at the first day of staff meetings in August was Take Flight, and Dr. Vanderdack might have referenced a certain movie that he really enjoys. So we have a song from that movie tonight, and we'd like to dedicate this to our board and to our upper administrators who have led us through the last 3 years, probably the most challenging in education in many decades. So thank you to each of you. And this is about soaring and taking flight. Here is Top Gun.
My name is Lauren Kella, and along with Zach Jacobs, we both teach the bands at Riley Street and Baldwin Street Middle Schools. The bands love bringing pep and a positive spirit to everything that we do. So let's get on our feet and sing along as the combined band plays the Hudsonville School Song.
Great job, band. Thank you so much. Thank you for having us play. Thank you for coming in here. And Mr. You want me to send them back or have them? Okay.
All right. Wow. Where do you go after that, right? It's so obscene. And, we made an intentional effort a number of years ago now to build the arts programs and to move the arts programs into our middle schools as well, and our elementary schools also. And that's an easy thing for the board to say, to do. It takes the dedication of all of our staff and our principals and everybody to make that happen and bring it to the level that we're at now. And at the same time, looking at continually to improve our arts programs and how it meets our overall, enables our overall curriculum. So exciting, so exciting. Okay, next we'll move on to recognition of visitors and hearing the people present. And Dr. Vanderjack will get the timer up here. And then Robin will call the names out of those who wish to address the board this evening. So.
First up is Catherine Pell.
Hi, I'm Catherine. I don't have a lot to say.
I'm sorry, if you could, if you could stand, please.
Then I'm going to chicken out because I don't understand.
Okay, all right, well, we're not going to force you. We won't force you.
I just wanted to say thank you for all that you do. Educators as well, you're very appreciated. That's it. Just not standing.
Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your comments.
Next is Greg Chansky.
Good evening. My name is Greg Chansky. I've addressed this group in the past. Although in the past, I don't know if people were really listening, but I really want them to listen, because the issues that we have to deal with on this board going forward are going to be very, very essential, and there's going to be a lot of hard decisions coming up. And as a future board member, I want everybody to know that I take these decisions very, very seriously. I take this opportunity that I've been given very seriously. And I want you to know that I fear God and I respect men. And if I'm ever in a situation where you feel like you're being disrespected by me, I want you to let me know that, because it's very, very important to me. We may disagree on things, but I will never be in a situation where I want to put anybody down or make anyone think that I don't value what they're saying. Another thing is, I remember when I was about 18 years old and I had done something that probably wasn't the right thing to do. And my dad said to me, said, Greg, I want you to listen to this, and I want you to understand what I'm saying. He said to me, if you have integrity, nothing else matters. And then he said, if you don't have integrity, nothing else matters. And I pledge to you that everything I do will be with integrity. I will be upfront with everything that I say and everything that I do. I will not talk behind people's back. And I'm not saying this because I believe other people are doing that. I'm saying this to put me in a situation before all of you that I am going to represent myself professionally and in the best interest of everybody within this district. And I value the opportunity that I've been given. I pray to the Lord every day that He would give me wisdom and discernment and understanding, and that's how I will carry myself. I also want to say that the folks who ran in this last election, I didn't see one bit of caring of other people down. And that's extremely important. Chad, I want to say to you, I value all the stuff that you've done. I've only been coming to these meetings for the last year, but this is a difficult job, and it's probably going to become more difficult. So anyway, I just want to put myself out there, and if anybody has any problems or concerns with the way that I handle myself, I wish that you would come to me and say that. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your comments.
Keith
That's right.
Lyon-Decker.
Just a few things. Barb, I want to say congratulations on your election. And Chad, I want to say a heartfelt thank you for your service. You've always been approachable, personable, professional, and I appreciate that very much about you. And I know you'd rather be doing this, but as some small solace, I hope you take advantage of the extra free time and family time. Life is busy and the kids grow quick. So I hope that at least some of the time that you would have been here, you can smile to yourself because you had a good family night or took your wife on a date. So hopefully that's some small solace. And to the board, I just want to say, I think you have a really large group of involved, caring parents that care about the district. And I hope you lean into that and value that and don't see it as a stumbling block or an obstacle, but really value that and put us to work. So thank you.
Okay, thank you for your comments.
Nick Blythe.
I'm not going to wing it like you guys. Not that good yet. But so I just wanted to say a few things post-election here. I wanted to just acknowledge my wife April and my daughter Kayla and our son Zach. It's been an interesting couple of months doing this. This is not something I ever planned to do. I think we've grown as a family. It's kind of cool on one hand to drive around town and like have our kids be like, oh look, there's your name on that sign, like 500 of them or whatever. So that's cool. But on the other hand, you hear some things about your dad that maybe aren't true or accurate. So we've had a lot of conversations as a family, and I think we've grown closer together. I had to ask April and the kids to do something that's actually really hard for me to do, and that's to have grace towards others, because sometimes you can hear things about yourself that aren't true or aren't fair. You want to respond, but chose not to. And I hope we reflected our family well and our light in the community because of that. So I also wanted to thank all the people that voted for me. Your voices were heard. I'm really humbled by the turnout, and I hope to do a good job. As Greg acknowledged, it's probably going to only be more difficult as time goes on. There's a lot of emotions in our community, so I hope to do well there. There's a small group of people that really did a ton of work. I would not be here if I had to do this on my own. And that was kind of the strategy. I knew it was going to be competitive. If I tried to do this alone, it wasn't going to happen. So the strategy was to get a strong base. And then again, I've been here for 40 years. I grew up here. I'm proud to be an Eagle. So I figured we could leverage the relationships that we have. And the strategy paid off. Lastly, I just want to speak to the people that didn't vote for me or didn't support me. I want to be really clear on this one. So I want to encourage you all to stay involved. You have a voice. Your voice is as important as anybody else who voted for me. And I've said that, I've been consistent with it. My hope is to bring our community together and be a bridge. So please speak with me, talk with me. Your voice is going to be heard. We're going to work together to make everybody proud and to get our district back on track. So just thank everybody.
Thank you for your comments.
Jenna Brown.
So I just want to speak to the 3 new board members that will be taking office in January. 2 months ago, there was a bullying incident that involved my child and another student on the school bus. This resulted in the parent of the other child getting called by the school and notified that there was a situation involving bullying. This parent was frustrated with the disciplinary action that was taken at the school and took to the Facebook group Support Neutral Education at HPS to complain about the trans girl at the elementary school. The following 100+ comments on that post included targeted attacks that identified my child by grade, school, teacher, and our address. Out of the 1,600 members of that Facebook group, not one person commented that that would be dangerous. Barb Hooper, you are an active member in that Facebook group and were given the unredacted screenshots of that post and yet made no attempt to reach out to my child, to protect them, or to reach out to me. It wasn't until I posted the redacted screenshots of the hate speech on my personal social media that that post was removed from the private Support Neutral Education page. The organizers of this Facebook group, which was originally called the Hudsonville Taxpayers and are known for wearing their yellow shirts to board meetings, are also created the Education Excellence in HPC PAC that funded Barb's, Nick's, and Greg's campaign. This campaign touted the word transparency, often saying that you wanted transparency of school board members. Well, I'm expecting transparency that applies to Facebook posts made by members within this group that funded these campaigns. Any board members affiliated with the Support Neutral Education HP group and the Education Excellence PAC means that the behavior of those individuals fall on you. All of this is to say that we will be watching as hate speech, intolerance, and the bullying of children by adults continues to go unchecked by board members affiliated with these groups. Let me be clear in saying that the continued tolerance for hate speech and targeted discrimination is a direct reflection of these board members' beliefs and will be addressed by the public. My suggestion would be that you start distancing yourself from these two groups. They might have bought your seats on this board, but you are now going to be held accountable by all families within Hudsonville Public Schools.
Thank you for your comment. Next comment. Randy Weiss?
Yeah, sorry. I was just reflecting on that. We like to throw around a lot of faith talk here. It's the Hudsonville thing, I think. I'm passionate about Jesus. I wonder what Jesus says about a trans kid. He always hung out with marginalized. We're going to be school board leaders. I hope you can hang out with marginalized and find a way to embrace them. Tonight I just wanted to say, that's not what I came to say. First of all, that was incredible. Top Gun, I saw you glowing in Mr. Dr. Vanderjack. I love it. Your job doesn't pay well, but wow. I mean, he pays well, but your responsibility is overwhelming. It's overwhelming. I did, because so many people only show up at this one and not the working board meeting, last month, I believe that we had an audit report that described how well this school district handles finances. And contrary to what has been said over the last 6 months in various circles, it couldn't have been more glowing. It was like a PhD level A+ that you, Dr. Vanderjack, and your staff, your administrators, and your teachers received. And I just want to say thank you. That's amazing. Like, that's not talked about. I really, really wish it was. I wish we talked about the kids. I wish we talked about the 60 kids who are under-homed. You brought it up a year ago. The board hasn't brought it up since, and that's not on you. It's not, I'm not pointing at anybody, but we have 60 under-homed housed kids in this district that the administration cares deeply about, but instead we've spent the majority of the last year being divisive and talking about 3 damn books.
Yeah. Yes.
The ways of Jesus speak clearly to all of this. And I'm not telling you you have to follow Jesus. I have friends who are atheists and agnostics and Buddhists and Hindus and Muslims. It's the way that I find the world to work best. I'm just challenging all of you to take that financial report and pay attention. And Dr. Vanderjack and all of you administrators, and to the board as well, need to be applauded for your outstanding financial decisions that you've made since your arrival here. So thank you, Dr. Vanderjack, and all of you who work for him.
Thank you for your comments. Any others, Robin? Okay. Thank you all for your comments this evening. Okay, next we move on to consent agenda. So can I have a motion, please, and a second to approve the items in the consent agenda? Motion by Dawn Sneeden. Support from Chad Tuttle. Any questions or comments on consent agenda items? All in favor of the motion, please say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. We move on to regular action agenda. First up, we have the resolution authorizing the issuance and delegating the sale of bonds. We had a chance to talk about this in the work session. Mr. Briggs, you'll be giving us an overview again?
We did have a great conversation in the work session, talking about the second series of 2019 bonds. This resolution gives the administration within certain parameters authority to sell those bonds. It also incorporates the potential refunding of the 2013 bonds. If the conditions are right, we'll sell them. If the conditions aren't right, we won't sell them if we don't save enough money. But I think we had a great conversation in the work session. Are there any other questions about the resolution?
Okay. Can I have a motion, please, that the board approve the resolution authorizing the issuance and delegating the sale of Hudsonville Public School 2023 school building and site bonds, or 2023 refunding bonds, or 2023 school building and site and refunding bonds as presented by Mr. Briggs. And I know we also have Nate Watson here this evening as well to answer any questions. So can I have a motion, please, on that?
I'll move that.
Motion by Larry Kavanagh, support from Mark Davis. Again, questions or comments? We had a chance to see this in the work session, but anything further? Okay, all in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
Okay, next we move on to board policy revisions. Dr. Vanderbeek?
Yep, just second reading for board policy number, sorry, I'm getting that. 0167.3, the public comments at public participation board meetings. We had a first reading to extend it from 30 minutes to 2 hours prior to the start of the board meeting, and there's been no changes since. So it's our recommendation for a second reading and approval, which will then go into effect for the next public meeting.
Okay, and motion please that the board approve the second and final reading of the revisions to board policy as reviewed by Dr. Vanderjack.
So,
Motion by Dawn Sneeden, support by Mr. Camp again. Okay, I thought I heard that down there. Any questions or comments?
No, I'm okay with the changes there. My only thought was if we had a change in the agenda, we wouldn't want to limit someone's ability to speak to that change.
If we added an item to the agenda?
I wouldn't want to limit their ability. I think we're covered by, well covered by I-5, which says that the president of the board can waive all the rules.
Yeah, for the most part, normally with public comment being the opening item, it's probably different if it was at the end of the
Yeah.
agenda.
Okay, other questions or comments? Okay, all in favor of the motion, yes, please.
yes.
Yes.
All opposed, no. Motion carried. Next, we move on to the course proposal that, again, we had a chance to take a look at in the work session. Ms. Taylor, are you covering this?
Yes, I'll cover this evening. So, as you mentioned, we did discuss this at the most recent work session. This is a World at War course. This would be an elective course, which I think really provides an opportunity for some rigor and, as you see in the proposal, a high level of interest from students saying, I want to sign up now, to, yeah, I think I would be interested. So certainly meeting a need in that elective area of some high rigor around some content-specific coursework. One of the items that we discussed that you'll notice in the additional information section is we have listed the textbooks that are board approved that the teacher would use in order to teach this course, to go deeper into the standards that are listed within the course proposal. So I would recommend this for a first reading this evening.
Okay, can I have a motion, please, that the board approve the first reading of the course proposal as reviewed by Ms. Taylor?
I'll move that.
Motion by Mark Davis. Support. Support from Chad Tuttle. Any questions or comments? And you did note that the text material is in here, is listed in here as well. So, any questions or comments?
Are these currently textbooks that we have in the system?
Yes.
I would enjoy taking a look at those if I could.
Sure.
Yeah, I just have anxiety about some schools that are doing revisionist history and have them come to my email here just recently, which I'll share with you after the meeting tonight. You will look
Sure.
into that.
Absolutely. One is currently used in U.S. history, which is a 10th grade course. One is in our 9th grade world history, and the other is our AP history course.
I think about to pick them up here at the high school then.
I can
That'd be
arrange
great.
that. I'll
Just
do
give
that.
me those outside of the office, pick them up then.
That sounds good.
And I'll share that other concern I had with you after the meeting. then.
Okay, sounds good.
Thanks.
Okay, other questions or comments? Okay, all in favor of the motion, please say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Okay, next we move on to report items. And we have one report item tonight, Dr. Vanderjack.
I have a brief report. First of all, the reason we are in this room, twofold, was number one, so we go to the auditorium and hear our amazing middle school music program. Number two, in the high school auditorium, Clue is getting ready to start. I don't know if it was somebody died with a candlestick, but I don't know how that works. But so if you have time, next weekend, the 17th, 18th, and 19th, I think they have that right. Clue is playing board. If you're interested, let me know. I can get you tickets. Great to see our kids. It's their fall play, so different than the musical, which takes place in the spring. This is the fall play, so that's going on. And you know, you've probably heard we have construction going on in the district. I will say that I'm excited to report to the board tonight. I would tell you you're the first to hear. However, I did have a chance to spend some time with Bowers Parent Club the other night, Tuesday night I think it was, and met with them to talk about the construction. The work at Bower Elementary, if you remember, major project with the 5-6 building, a lot of work on this campus. And the gym at Forest Grove is nearing completion. I know Mr. Gillette's pretty fired up about that back there. I'm hoping for maybe I know this is like a Valentine's Day opening, which is really not that important, but that's kind of the time frame. But the next project is Bower Elementary. And Bower Elementary, we went out for bid this past week. I want to thank Pat. I can't thank Pat enough for the work that he and his team does to get ready. There are a lot of moving parts to a bond project, and not just securing the funds and what we talked about with acquiring the bonds tonight, but now spending them in our constituents, taxpayers' money wisely. But we went to bid, and the bids came back very, I wouldn't say very favorable, but they came on the right side of the budget, the correct side. So that was encouraging. It wasn't going back to the drawing board and having to cut things. It was, we can get this done. So that's very exciting. I'm going to share with the board the display. We have a display, as you've seen the boards around the district. The latest is the Bower Elementary display. I did give a copy to Mr. Mearsman. He's in the back, so it is in his office. He's been instructed not to share that until after tonight. So I will show you the board. And it's not, I think it's pretty exciting, but, so here is the Bower board. So real quick, I'll show this. I know it's a long ways back there for all of you, but you can come look at it afterwards. Because you're taller than me.
Exactly.
So you have 48th Avenue here. We're extending the parking lot so we can extend the drop-off and pickup line for those that understand the speed limit on 48th, albeit we want people to slow down, but we can fit more cars in there for drop-off and pickup. We're extending the wing out to the east of the building on the south side with future plans if we want to add on even further, and we could potentially add on the top. If you know anything about Bower Elementary, it's in the far northwest corner of our schools in Hudsonville. However, there's a lot of land to the west and a lot more land to the north, and if that grows, we have to be conscious of that if we have to expand Bower Elementary. The whole layout down here adds a gymnasium, which looks identical to Forest Grove's and to Allward's gym, which will look the same thing as Park's gym when that goes up. 2 new classrooms, a music and an art classroom with a kiln room. This is the biggest highlight. There are more bathrooms in the building. So there's additional bathrooms down here for students and for staff. There's some storage. There's some breakout rooms that we've added, and then access through the building down there. So very exciting for this project. This project, now that it's gone to bid, they'll finalize the bids, get that moving, and we hope to break ground when the snow melts, assuming we'll have snow in Michigan this winter, maybe tomorrow. That does some. So here's some renderings of what it looked like. Talked a little bit of the description of this, and we're looking for this to open, which would be about a year and a half from now. So it's about a year-long project. Starts in the spring, finishes up in the summer, and the kids will be able to use it come fall of 2024. So if you want to take a look, there'll be one at our central office, there'll be one at Bauer Elementary, and then we'll have one in the boardroom going from there. So it's exciting. That's it. And my last update is, as mentioned earlier by Bree, the high school students are finishing up exams tomorrow with a half day with all students tomorrow. Records Day, elementary conferences are coming up next week. The year is well underway, and we talk about how things just started up. We're a third of the way through the school year. And it goes quick. If you ask our seniors, we're well past halfway. But the rest of them are good to go. And having said that, we know that a beautiful day today will not be like this for the rest of the winter. However, the connector between these two buildings, we are hoping that we can take, I know some high school students.
I see some head shaking there.
Got great news. So the wall coming down, if you are a freshman or a sophomore, you have never seen the stairwell in this building. That is the kind of the main stairwell. But as of next week, they might be able to see the stairwell next week. And then come, hopefully right before Christmas break, which is about a month from now, they will be able to travel between buildings indoors. The offices won't be open yet, the classrooms won't be open yet, but the hallway will be open. Indoors,
Can't go anywhere else.
it is protected, and go from there. So that'll change. The bus loop is now complete in the back of this building. The entrance is ready to go. The parent drop-off will be in the front of the building. The bus drop-off will be in the back, which opens up parking in the back. And it's exciting. And I do, once again, Pat, thanks to all your work on that. I know our team here up in front has spent a lot of time on design and in countless meetings. I don't even want to count how many hours upon doing their other jobs, and it's appreciated. I will tell you that. So
Very much so.
that's it. That's
Very much so. Okay, we're going to give the principals a break tonight. I know I know Mr. Walden, you're disappointed. Yeah, you guys are. So we'll, because we have an extra long teaching and learning feature, just with central office right up front here. Anything else you'd like to cover or bring up this evening? Mr. Briggs? Anything else? Okay. Good. Okay. All right, board roundtable, and then we will adjourn. Mr. Davis?
I've said enough.
Okay. Yep.
I'm good.
Okay. Okay.
I had the opportunity on Saturday to watch the high school marching band compete at Ford Field for the Michigan Music State Awards, and I was just so impressed. And I've seen them quite a few times this fall, and I thought they did the best ever at Ford Field, but I guess they made some little mistake, and I never saw it. So I thought they did fabulous. So good program this year for the band.
I always enjoy these concerts, but I didn't hear any Beach Boys or my generation.
We need to have the marching band come.
I'll make the request.
What are the requests?
Yeah, the whole marching band program is Beach Boys.
There we go.
I will just add that I had the opportunity to do some judging for the We the People competition, Mr. Sullivan's AP government class today, and 6 groups, I think it was 6 groups, Dr. Vanderjack and I were there, and a couple others, of students who so impressive, their knowledge of the Constitution, their ability to quickly think on their feet and pull up, details around the Constitution, the history of the Constitution, current case law and so forth. I mean, just it gives you pride in both our students and in both the next generation for the knowledge that they have and how they're going to be leaders in this country. So just a wonderful event, and the AP government class, a wonderful class that helps to build our civic knowledge in this school.
Yeah, this was a trial today that we gave a lot of feedback. I actually learned more from the kids than they learned from me. But they then go to The state competition is next week at Kent ISD, so they'll be competing next week Friday there.
Yeah.
And they're ready.
Good. All right, with that, can I have a motion to adjourn, please? Motion by Chad Tuttle, support from Don Steeden. All in favor, yes?
Yes.
We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone, for coming this evening.